On the day that I was born black, I was also born homosexual. They either believe in freedom and justice for all, or they do not.
This will be the day when all of God's children.
A black man who will soon be called a one-man, non-violent army was born in 1912 in Westchester, a small town in eastern Pennsylvania. Bayard Rustin's lifelong commitment to non-violence began with his Quaker upbringing and the influence of his grandmother. In 1932, Bayard Rustin began his journey at Wilberforce University, where he embraced social justice causes and he encountered Mahatma Gandhi's writing, igniting his lifelong dedication to
We are
nonviolent resistance.
non-violent because injury to one is injury to all.
In 1937, Rustin started his activist career training with the American Friends Service Committee and organizing for the Youth Communist League, later shifting away from communism. In the 1940s, Rustin played a crucial role in lobbying President Truman to end segregation in the military. By 1941, Rustin had joined the Fellowship of Reconciliation, dedicated to nonviolent resistance and social justice. Additionally, after being arrested, Rustin's experiences on a chain gang were chronicled on the New York Post, which initiated an investigation that eliminated chain gangs in North Carolina. He later became a field secretary for CORE, or the Congress of Racial Equality. He organized the Free India Committee in 1945 and the Journey of Reconciliation in 1947, a precursor to the freedom rides of the 1960s. Throughout the 1950s, Rustin continued his activism, organizing initiatives like the Committee to Support South African Resistance and joining the War Resistance League. Rustin's collaboration with Dr. King during the Montgomery bus boycott in 1956 marked a turning point as he shared his deep understanding of nonviolent ideas and tactics.
We have the right to protest for rights. We will do it in an orderly fashion. This is a non-violent protest. We are depending on moral and spiritual forces, using the method of passive resistance.
He organized the Youth Marches for Integrated Schools in 1958 and served as the Deputy Director of the historic March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963, where Dr. King delivered his iconic I Have a Dream speech. Despite his achievements, why was he unknown?
Rustin was arrested in California after being caught having sexual relations with a guy in 1953. He was given a 50-day prison sentence and then registered as a sexual offender. After that, he was shunned from society, being labeled by even people fighting for equality as someone immoral, homosexual, pervert, a liability. King and Rustin intended to conduct a protest during the Democratic National Convention in Los Angeles in 1960. However, Congressman Adam Clayton Powell of Harlem Powell threatened to reveal that King and Rustin were having an affair. He called King and ordered him to call off the demonstrations. Although there was no affair, Rustin was compelled to retire from the movement he had helped build, and King agreed. This led him to be left out of the spotlight by leaders. Although he was shunned by society, his talent was undeniable. Rustin was chosen to orchestrate the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. In just 8 weeks, he was able to bring 250,000 to participate in the march. The march ushered in much-needed changes in our nation's race relations, leading directly to the enactment of the Civil Rights Act in 1964 and the Voting Rights Act in 1965. It was held as the largest peaceful demonstration for human rights in United States history. During the 1980s, He became a public advocate on behalf of gay causes, speaking at events as an activist and supporter of human rights. Rustin died on August 24, 1987 of a perforated appendix.